jump into questions here. We'll start with Eric Bailey of the Tulsa World and go to Jason Kersey.
Hey, David, you guys have had some really close games over the past two seasons. Just as players, do you recognize the thin line between winning and losing? And also, how much have coaches stressed that aspect of the game?
Oh, yeah. I think after our two losses this year, we definitely see that's a very, very thin line between winning and losing. And our coaches have been stressing that a bunch to us, but we didn't really grasp it until we had those two losses, and we didn't really grasp how big of a deal it is to finish out the game. And you can't just play great three quarters. You got to finish it out through the fourth. And they do a great job of emphasizing that, but it just unfortunately took us losing two games to see it as well.
Thanks, David.
Go to Jason Kersey of The Athletic and then Joe Bettner.
Hey, David, I wanted to go back to your recruitment. You were recruited by the previous staff, visited before Coach Grinch was hired, and then committed and signed after Coach Grinch. So what about Coach Grinch, once you got to meet him after he was hired, made you decide that you wanted to play for him?
Mainly just his raw grit and intensity. Like, as soon as I met the dude, he was fired up and made it very transparent about what his plans were for this team and the steps he intended for us to take with his first year being here. And I think with how well our defense played last year, it came to pass, everything that he said.
Thanks, man.
Go to Joe Bettner of the Norman Transcript and then Ryan Aber.
David, just with the big play you had against Texas, obviously I know you've discussed it, but just with the kind of the special teams and how you guys can affect a game, and to coincide with getting turnovers, can that give you any type of, I guess, momentum as far as like the rest of the season to kind of see it in a game and for it to happen, I guess, more frequently than it usually does for you all?
Most definitely. Like, our special teams is a big aspect of the team, and we have great special teams coaches with Coach Gundy, Odom, and Coach Beamer, and they do a great job emphasizing how important special teams is. Like, they call it the third side of the ball. You have offense, defense, and special teams, and you got to be just as intense and have every intent of not taking a play off on special teams as you do with any other offensive snap or defensive snap.
Thanks, David.
Let's go to Ryan Aber of the Oklahoman and then James Hale.
Yeah, David, what's been the biggest challenge about moving inside for you? And, what do you like about that position, and what's more difficult maybe than you were doing in your role last year?
The biggest difficulty I had with moving to the inside position is learning the whole playbook, because not only do I need to know what I'm supposed to be doing, I need to know the jobs of the people up front and the DBs behind me. And I think that the biggest change from this year to last year is how much I'm communicating at Mike. I'm communicating a bunch every single play, directing guys, telling them where to go, telling them the plays and everything. And I think that's been the biggest change from rush to linebacker.
Just a quick follow to that. Do you like the communication aspect of your role and how involved you've got to be sort of with the entire defense?
Yeah, I love it, and I fully embrace that, because I would like for the hard stuff to be on me, because I feel like, and I'm confident in, I'm gonna do my job every single play, and I'm gonna do what this defense needs.
Appreciate it, David.
Yes, sir.
Let's go to James Hale of KREF and then Bob Prisbillo.
Hey, David, I'm curious, when they asked you to move, I know they talked about it, before COVID, and then COVID hit and things like that. But you were doing so well at the rush in, and you and Benito had become quite the combination. So when they actually asked you to move inside, which is, as you just pointed out, complicated with communication and everything, and I don't think you didn't really played inside much. How scary was that for you, or how alarming was that for you when he first said, hey, we're going to move you inside?
I wouldn't say I was scared or alarmed, but I was definitely aware to the challenge that it was going to be, and I was just like, well, and our coaches explained I should take pride in it, that they're moving me inside, that they're not moving me because I'm not doing my job somewhere else, and moving me because I could help this defense greatly at the inside spot.
Thanks, David.
Yes, sir.
Bob Prisbillo with Sooner Scoop and then Brandon Drum.
David, when you're trying to make a move like that, how big or of a influence has Deshaun White been in trying to help you kind of figure out what you need to do in that spot?
Deshaun been a great influence, from the jump. He was just reminding me consistently that there's a reason why they moved you here, that you could do it, and um, that I should just be able to follow him and I'll be able to pick it up easily. And it's not just been Deshaun; it's been everybody in the group. Deshaun White, Brian Asamoah, Brian Mead, even someone in my class, Jamal Morris. Like all of them embraced me as soon as I was moved into the room, and they all would do anything I needed for me to get caught up to speed, whether it was coming back to watch film later or whether it was just staying a little bit longer after practice. Everybody was willing to help get me up to speed.
Okay, Brennan Drum with OU Insider, and then Parker Thune.
Hey, David, have you talked to Kenneth Murray about your move over? I mean, has he helped you? Have you stayed in communication with him with your move to the inside at all?
Not directly, but I've been told that my coach told him that he's seen me out there and that he likes what he's seen so far.
Okay, Parker Thune with SI Sooners, and then Kerry Murdoch.
Yeah, David, obviously Sam Ellinger and Max Duggan, two guys with similar skill sets at the quarterback position. Given the success that you guys had containing Sam for the majority of that Texas game, how much confidence do you have in going up against Duggan this weekend?
We have a lot of confidence. We got a game plan set out, and I think that with the help of the guys, especially the guys up front, I think we'll be great at just keeping them inside the pocket. And with our DBs, I feel confidence that we'll be able to get a lot of coverage sacks.
Okay, Kerry Murdoch with Sooner Scoop.
Hey, David, I know, when you first came in here, a lot of people, other players, mentioned your athleticism and how surprising, how surprised they were of it. You kind of take pride in being a guy that's 245 and showing people, the type of athleticism you have. And do you have to work on your weight at all, or you think could play even bigger and have the same athleticism?
Oh yeah, definitely. I would say I am bigger than 245 right now, and I do definitely take pride in being and looking like a big guy that probably can't move or probably doesn't have the hips to play the inside position, and being out there and be able to show people or prove people wrong. I take a huge pride in that.